my life, and over at Austin High School. And if any players from Austin High School, if you hear any coaches, I would like you to stand real quick, please. If you hear, and if you know anything about HISD athletics, if you're not Bel Air, if you're not Lamar, you don't want to hear nothing about it. And somehow he got me to come there. He got Coach Cox, who came from Santa Fe. He got Coach Thompson, who came from, I believe, the Clearbrook area. He got Coach Young to come from college. He got Coach Returner to come from Austin. And we all ended up at Austin High School. But he showed us the way, and he gave us things to take in life. And one thing that he did for me in my life, he propelled me to do something greater than myself. I seen Coach Kirk buy food for kids. I seen Coach buy clothes. I seen Coach buy a car. I seen Coach pay rent. I seen Coach pay mortgage. I seen him do all type of things, and it wasn't for himself, but it was for helping other people. And if we can't take anything from this occasion, if we can't take anything from this day, we all need to become better servants, and we need to become better people. Time has been well spent. Coach Dick, I call him Coach. I guess you're a coach in the gospel community. Bishop Dixon put us on a time restraint, but this morning when I woke up, I put on the movie Remember the Titans. And I've been dying to watch it. I asked my wife, can we record it? She said, it always comes on TV. It's a Disney movie. So I recorded it a couple of days ago, and this morning, as I was getting dressed for the funeral, I watched it, and it got to the part to where they won a regional championship, and Barry Gettier, which was an all-state linebacker, he had a serious car accident, and the whole team was sad. And the next morning, Coach Boone and Coach Oaks, they were in the office, and they was talking, and they was discussing what happened. And Boone said to Oaks, he said, I have a press conference scheduled so we can talk about things that happened this past weekend. And Coach Oaks, he said, wait a minute, Coach, we don't want to parade around. And Boone said, I'm not parading around, but I want to show a united front. Yes, we've been devastated. Yes, we're frustrated. Yes, we lost a great player, but the season must go on. And that's what I want to tell you guys today. I'm devastated right now. I'm frustrated. I'm in agony. I'm weary. But the season and the show in life must go on. And what he did for my life and what he did for you guys is he coached you on how to live as a servant and how the season must go on. So I want to say, I know he can't hear me. I know he's all gone to where he's going, but I said, Coach, I want to appreciate you. I really love you. I just appreciate all the things that you did for my family, and you did for me, and you did for my life, and the same for Miss Maggie and Samantha and all the Kirks. He used to tell me all the things about, I never met Jimmy and Junior till yesterday, but all the stories you had in his office, I feel like I've been knowing you my whole life. Amen? Amen. Thank you for the opportunity. May God bless you. May God keep you.
Cousins, filled with uncles, filled with nephews and nieces. And when he chose to raise Samantha as his own daughter, not as a stepdaughter, but as his own daughter. He raised Samantha to be like him, to be firm but compassionate, to be loving at all times, to see the best in people even when they don't see the best in themselves, and to love to watch football. One of my favorite memories with Coach Kirk is sitting in his living room, pulling out a diamond ring and asking him, "Now marry your daughter." With tears in his eyes and that contagious smile on his face, he said, "Daddy, she's a #1 draft pick. Don't you ever forget that." He said, "You treat her and you love her as such. You love her when she can't pick which restaurant to have dinner at. You love her when she buys another pair of shoes for an overfilled closet. But most importantly, you love her the way I love her mother." Seeing the father of Coach Kirk demonstrated to me the type of father that I can only strive to emulate. Coach's biggest critique of me is that I drove too fast and too close to other cars in I-10. My biggest critique of him is that he left us too soon. But with the love and the legacy that he left within each and every one of us, he can truly never be gone. Coach Kirk is an undisputed evidence that God's angels truly walk amongst us. And the fact that I'm marrying his daughter, raised by an extraordinary man, the coach's daughter, is living proof that God does love me. Thank you.
My mother was not happy with that. And she told Coach that he can't play because he has a C. Ironically in biology. And Coach Kirk said, now mama, hold on now. It's not a D, it's not an F. He's got a C now. We can work on that. And my mother looked Coach Kirk in the face and she said, Kobe is the only sophomore that plays for your team. You tell me he's fast, you tell me he works hard, you tell me he hits hard, you tell me you love him. You don't let him be average on the field, so why would you let him be average in the classroom? And Coach Kirk stopped, and he looked at me, and he said, this is the last time you will ever have a conversation about your grades. I graduated from St. Pius X on the honor roll. I'm the first person in my family to And the first thing Kirk always said to me when he called me when I was in college, or even after he left the doggos, now Daddy, how you grades with me? Then I'll be bringing home no C's now. I'm a long way to save you, you know? And he used to tell me these things like, after my mom left the office that day, he said, son, do you want to be good or do you want to be great? I said, I want to be great. He said, well, son, greatness is not a thing. It's not a one-time thing. You can't be great on the football field and be an average student. You can't be a great football player and be an average husband. You can't be a great football player and be an average son. You can't be a great football player and be an average brother. So he taught us how to be great, how to strive for excellence in every single situation. And I started this by saying I'm blessed. Like, I've had some great coaches. I've had some great experiences through this game of football. Experiences a kid like me never should have had. I wasn't that talented, to be completely honest. I've had great coaches, I've had great mentors, I've had great educators. And I can't think of what my life would be like without Kirk. Because without Kirk, I wouldn't have St. Pius. I wouldn't have this family, this organization to come home to. And what I want to inspire in us today, like others have said before me, is that don't let it die right here. When I heard last Sunday about Coach, my first words to my father was, Coach Kirk can't die. He's a superhero. And my mother looked back at me and she said, he won't. Because he can't. Because you will not let him. She said his legacy has to live on. That's with you. That's with the people you talk to, the people you touch. She said, it is now your turn to be somebody's Coach Robin Kirk. So I encourage all of us that were blessed to have experienced Coach Kirk to be that in somebody else's life. You know what I mean? And I call him Coach Kirk, but he was so much more than a coach. Numerous people have talked about how much he loved Mama Kirk. You couldn't play for his team and not understand how much he loved Mama Kirk. Or how much he loved his daughter, and how off limits his daughter was. Coach Kirk taught us how to be husbands and fathers before we even understood what those words meant. So my challenge to you all is there will never be another Robin Kirk. The man said earlier, there's only one Coach Kirk, and he's absolutely right. There will never be another man who can command a room with a clap. Yeah. Whole room will stop. You know what I mean? But I encourage y'all to take what this man taught us and to spread it. Be that in somebody's life. I know for me personally, I'll be spending a little bit more time in St. Pius in these upcoming months, these upcoming years, and try to give back what he gave to me. So thank you, Mama Kirk. Thank y'all for y'all's time. God bless you.
My dad was a little disappointed because I wasn't a boy. And when my sister was born, he was real disappointed. He said, another dad-lame girl. 3 years later, Robin was born. And my dad was so thrilled that he finally had his boy. He was even more excited after that, so when he had 2 more boys, Junior and Jimmy, he was delighted. But that was the end. So, being the big sister, I helped my mom with all my siblings. Robin was such a sweet baby. I would always carry him around like a baby doll. When he learned to talk, he developed his own vocabulary. For example, a car was a bye-bye, a truck was a dud-dud, and anything to eat was a yum-yum. Anything to drink was a ooh. Well, my sister, my mom and dad, and my grandmother, we all knew what he was talking about. So when we would go visit my grandmother, we would sit down to eat, and he would want some ooh. Well, that was some water, we thought. Anyway, she got him some water, and he says, no, I want some cow ooh with my yum-yum. So this is how he related the milk with his food. So, you know, we all carried on with him just like we knew where he was going with it, but we all knew we'd pass by and we'd see something like chickens out on the farm, he'd say, look at all those yum-yums out there. He used to have an old straw hat that he would never take off, and he would actually sleep in it. He wore his gun and holster boots, and he would play outside for hours, entertaining himself. When he was 4, we noticed that he started limping when he would be playing outside. Back then, there was a cowboy on TV named Chester that that he walked with a limp. So when we started calling him Chester, but then time went on and it got worse and worse, so my mom took him to the doctor and he found out that he had a bone disease called Perthes. There was no medicine that would cure it. The doctors told us that you have to believe in God, you have to listen to me, and listen to your mom, and we have to stay off of it, and God will grow your bone back. So, he ended up in a body cast for a year, and so that way it was cut off of him, and then we just take him out to use the bathroom and to bathe him, but he stayed in it for a year. And my mom had signed him up at the Crippled Children's Hospital, and so we got gifts from him, from them. They were always sending gifts and money. And he would put his money in a cigar box. Now here he is, only 5 years old, but it was in a cigar box, and every day he counted his money to make sure nobody took it. So he's always been a money man. The second year after the body cast, he had a crutches with a strap holding his leg off the ground. He would wait until the neighbor boys would come home after school, and he would go outside to play ball. Even with his crutches, he would always love sports, and he would play. The third year, he was able to go to school, but still had his crutches and his leg attached, pulled up, so he couldn't walk on it. He may have forgotten his books and his homework, but could always tell you what was on the sports page. When he was 8, he finally could walk on his own. God had grown his bone back, and after 4 long years, he learned to walk again. When he was 9, and Junior would have been around 6, and Jimmy 5, we moved to our neighborhood over on North Line. That's where we met our neighbors, Gene and Joe Barkowiak. Gene was the quarterback, and Joe was the running back. So Gene would take them during the summer, and they would go to St. Pius and throw the ball back, and he'd work them out and do whatever it needed to take to, help him with his exercises and throwing the ball. When school started, they wanted to go over to St. Pius every day so they could be the manager. So my mom would go get them from school, take them to St. Pius, and so that's where the long, love-standing relationship with St. Pius began with our family. Robin was always a good boy. He never caused any trouble because he was scared of the police. And so imagine this, years later, here he is going in the Houston Police Department. On Sunday, January 23rd, we were shocked and saddened to hear of his passing. But we know that our dad, our mom, and our sister was waiting with open arms. We will miss and love you, little brother.
Girl, she needs to go to another school. No, send in to so-and-so. She'll work magic on those kids, and they do. Public school teachers are my heroes. They're soldiers. And my dad and I would talk about that, and as I'm hearing all this, my dad was that soldier. My dad was that soldier. He didn't let anybody be cast aside. Oh, that kid's a lost cause. No, that's my dad. No one was a lost cause. He stood up and he fought for those kids every day of his life. He fought for a cause bigger than himself. That was his life. So I just want to say to you today, first of all, from my family, and I'm proud to be here to represent my family, thank you for being here, for honoring my father, because he deserved it. He wasn't a good man, he was a great man. And I thank you all for everything you're doing. Special thank you to Maggie and to Sammy for setting up this beautiful ceremony and all that went into this. I know this is a lot of work, and it's beautiful, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. But I just want us to all take this as a call to action. What we've seen today, what this man has accomplished, his work is not over. He left it for us, as some of those before me very eloquently expressed. We're to take the reins now. It's on us to continue forth with this work and to help others and to give of ourselves wherever we can. So if you're with me, say amen.
Amen.
I'm catching the fever up here. Again, I just want to say I love my father. I respect him. He was a great man. He did a lot of good for a lot of people. And this has been an extraordinary experience. I'll never forget this experience. Having heard all these incredible speakers, all these people that he's touched. I challenge you, like he taught me, you be a soldier for somebody. You be a soldier. We're a soldier in God's army. We're here to serve. Be a soldier. Thank you very much.